Hey y'all, this video will be posted tomorrow, which is Sunday, February 6th or 7th, whatever Sunday is on the week that includes the 6th or 7th, for my weekly wrap-up. Welcome to my channel if you're new here, and welcome back if you've been hanging out with me for a while. Don't forget to hit subscribe if you want to. I don't know, man. Just, do whatever you want. Let's see. Over the last week, what bookish things have I done? I don't know. It feels like it's been a really busy week. So one of my colleagues at work had to leave town suddenly because of a death in his family. And so I've been picking up a little bit of extra monitoring for one of our new staff that we supervise. So there's that. And I also feel like I'm really behind on some things because there are new things and old things and, all the things are happening. So it's felt like a pretty busy week. And I didn't even bother to try and record anything over the week. So I haven't posted anything since the last wrap up, which was last week. But, 1 to 2 videos is my goal for each week for 2021. So I think I'm still kind of making it. And my mom says not to post too often or she'll get behind. Like, what else is she doing? Mom, what else are you doing besides watching these videos from the best thing that ever happened to you? Nothing. She lives in Panama, so I don't have to worry about her throwing up anything at my head right now. All right, so one of the things that came up is that I've been doing paperwork because I'm collaborating with this other local group in town, and I don't have the right car coverage, like my insurance is wrong or something. So I have to change the coverage on my car, even though it's a virtual position. But because of the rules and their funding, I have to have the right kind of auto insurance coverage, which really irritates the shit out of me, to be honest. But I also understand, and it's a fun project, and I'm so glad I'm involved with it. So really, I just want to complain about it for a while, but I'm going to take care of it and be fine. I also have to redo the mandated reporter training. I don't have to do it. I just have to rustle up my old certificate, and the training's only 2 hours and it's free. So it would actually just be faster to do it than to figure out how to get a copy of a certificate from, however long ago it was that I took it. So there's those kinds of like practical, just need to be done and take some time kinds of things that get in the way of some other stuff. So like I'm behind on paperwork and bloody blue. But I did go last week and meet with the photographer for the 585 magazine. So I did that interview as a literary citizen in Rochester. And I had to get a new headshot for them, or I never had an old one. I had to get a headshot for the article. So it took all of 6 seconds because we just did it standing out in the parking lot because the sun was going down. But on my way there, and maybe we would have had more time if I hadn't done this, but I stopped by a local place and took some pictures with the statues and a book that I'm looking forward to reading next. So I can't even think of what, it's got the word bird in it, in the title, but I'll post a picture or two here. And then I'm going to do like a collaborative reel with a Bookstagram friend of mine. And so I recorded some footage for that and recruited a friend to help me in what is the most extra video ever. And so I did that with a tea party set up on my tea cart and everything. So those were 2 fun things I did. And fun, but also business-like, yesterday, which was Friday, 2 days ago, by the time you see this, or by the time I post this, I met with, so you guys know that I'm the president of the Rochester Teen Book Festival Incorporated. And our festival is going virtual this year and is in May. So we did a RFP for a new bookseller and we picked one. I'm so excited for the collaboration that we've got. I'm going to leave it to TBF to make the initial announcement before I make the announcement, but I'm so excited for the collaboration with one of my very favorite bookstores. You've heard me talk about it several times on my channel, so I'm so glad that they're partnering with us this year. But anyway, there's another organization who wanted to be the official bookseller and has collaborated with us for a long time. And I met with the executive director yesterday to talk about how we can collaborate in a different way from the festival. And she was excited about it, and I was excited about it. And I am really just looking forward to the next couple of years of leadership within the organization, especially as we're able to do some new and interesting things. So that's gonna be amazing. Love it. I'm also still not sure if I'm gonna do a giveaway for my birthday next weekend. I don't really have to because it's a giveaway and it's my birthday, and that's a lot of work for me. But I might. And I got 2 extra hero journals accidentally. I might email them to tell me they sent me 2 extra copies, but I might not. Do I have to? Is there some ethical guidelines about that? But since I have 2 extras, I might give one of them away. So the hero journal, it's kind of cool. You kind of frame your life's goals in terms of them being a quest. So I got it because my younger child, who's actually 21 years old, really likes quest role play, kinds of games and stuff. So I got them one for Christmas, and also likes planning. Like they're really, all of that sort of stuff. So I thought it was a great idea. They haven't used it yet, but they're thinking about it. So I got them one and I got me one. I haven't used mine yet either. And now I have 2 extra. So that seems like a pretty good giveaway potential to me. So we'll see. We'll see. I might email them and let them know, like, you sent me 2 extra ones. Do not charge me, because I will be pissed off if they charge me again. Okay. So I'm not sure what book I want to talk about. Although I had decided before I started rambling about my week last week. Oh, I also today took some stupid pictures out in my yard. I'll post one of those right here too. What am I doing, y'all? I don't know. Bookstagram got me crazy. What book was I going to tell you about? Ugh. Poop. I don't remember. I'm going to have to log off and check my Goodreads again. Damn it. Okay. So weird. I am obviously an old lady who needs an assistant. Okay, so the book I was going to tell you about is The Anatomist's Wife. Have I told you about that already? I don't even know. I have to start writing things down or something. So Tailored Book Recommendations is a service offered through Book Riot, which is an online reading writing community. And TBR is what it's called, which, is clever, but also a little basic, is the service that you can pay for. And then if it's an annual, you can do it once or you can do it annually. And of course I did it annually because it's a better deal, but also, I'm a ridiculous, whatever opposite of frugal is when it comes to book stuff. So my first recommendation included The Anatomist's Wife, based on other things I've read and things that I like. So The Anatomist's Wife is about a woman who has been married to an anatomist. So these are the guys back in, I think this must be 1890 something, I don't know. Or earlier. I'll look it up, or I won't. You know what I mean. Look it up. An anatomist. These are the people who were using like corpses and stuff to do scientific research and medical research. And that's really how we got a lot of information from people, because no one was volunteering to give their bodies away. That wasn't even a thing at the time. But they started also getting a lot of bad reputation for either paying people to kill people in order because basically they paid people to bring them dead bodies. So, on some level, they probably thought they'll just run across dead bodies in the street and they'll just bring them here and that will be fine. But sometimes people were robbing graves, and this is the early medical school thing too, right? So they were robbing graves, and then some people were accused of killing people just for the purposes of selling the body to the anatomist. So The Anatomist's Wife, as you might imagine, is about a woman who is married to an anatomist. Her husband arranges her marriage to him because he seems like a good guy. But the reason why he wants to marry her is because she's an artist. So he is basically using her skills, or forces her to use her artistic skills to make these beautiful, well detailed diagrams of the bodies that he's dissecting. And when he dies, it's kind of discovered that she's been helping him because everybody knows that he wasn't that good at art. So she has this reputation now, and she's basically been shamed out of her home because they're basically calling her a killer, and she must have wanted to do this, and she should have left him, and all of that stuff. But like, where was she going to go, right? So now she lives with her sister and her sister's husband, her sister and her brother-in-law, and there's a party that's happening. She's been very standoffish because people are the worst, and they've always been the worst forever. But anyway, and there's a party that's happening, and somebody dies at the grounds. So everybody obviously thinks it's her. So because she knows a lot about dead bodies and all of that, I don't know. She starts to help the guy who's trying to find the clues and figure out who killed this woman who died at the party. So the guy's also not a detective. It's going to take 4 days. It's like wintertime or whatever. It's going to take 4 days for the guy who's actually supposed to come figure things out to get there. So they take it amongst themselves to figure it out, because the guy who's going to help figure it out right now is the son of a detective, which obviously gives you skills. So you have the son of a detective and you have the wife of the anatomist, and they hate each other or don't like each other, or do they? And they start to work together to find the clues. So the reason why probably I was recommended this book through the TBR service is because it goes right along with many other things that I've read. Like there's the Something in Scarlet, which is about the woman detective who may be on the autism spectrum. She's kind of described that way, or very type A, in the same way Sherlock Holmes was described as very focused and very, could really pay attention to very small detail, but wasn't really attuned to other people or cared about social convention and things like that. So I've read a number of books about women detectives who are kind of that way. And that's how this woman, a little bit more socially savvy, but kind of out on her own and screwed over by the system of society that doesn't let women do things. Because, she'll never be able to be a doctor or whatever. And she can't live alone. So I liked the book. I would have really liked it a lot more. And I would say this is true of the other books in this same category of books. If I think about this one, or I think about like the one that's more paranormal. Oh, there's a dirigible, a blimp. I can't remember the series, but I really liked it. But it's that age of like batting your eyes and like noticing his muscle but not touching it, versus like once you get, if you would move that, so if you have that time period and the woman is not chaste or whatever, it's really bad for the woman, right? So there's a lot of sort of like flirtation and, oh, I really like look at him across, the table and all of that, but nothing really ever happens because we need our heroine to not be killed as a witch or whatever. Versus like if you move that whole story from the Wuthering Heights time frame to now, they would be like kissing fervently, and that would be so much better. Even though there's a dead body in the basement or whatever. So I really liked the book. I also thought it really went along with the books that I've read before. And you do put your Goodreads, you can put your Goodreads profile in there. So maybe they just saw that I'd read a number of books that way and knew this one fit into that. But if they didn't look at my Goodreads, then they did a pretty good job of coming up with something out of their butts. There are 2 other books, because you get 3. One of them is A Song of Stone and Blood, I think. I have it right here because I checked it out from the library. not that one. Ship of Magic. Still haven't read that yet. Oh, Mel, your book fiend Mel, book fiend Mel, recommended that one, and I really am going to read it. I promise, Mel, promise. But the other TBR recommendation was Song of Blood and Stone. So this one, I think, similar. Like, you can look at the, you know, her standing there looking away and like this adventurous looking stuff happening here. So I believe it's more of a fantasy romance sort of thing happening. An outcast, color of her skin. Sounds good to me. So I'm interested in that. And then the other one that was recommended, I don't remember, but I haven't gotten a copy of it yet. But I believe it's another kind of similar thing. Maybe not dead bodies, but I'll find it and put a picture here. So, I mean, they certainly aren't offering anything completely outlandish, which is nice. And there hasn't been any overlap. So at the Book Riot convention, I don't even remember if that's what they called it. They had a recommendation booth guy or whatever, and woman, people who would do recommendations, and the first 3 of them I'd already read before, but that's fair because I tend to read a lot. Okay, so what was this? Weekly wrap up? I don't even know. But let's wrap it up, okay? I'll catch you on the next one.